Coming up on KPBS Evening Edition, just who should pay for damages caused by the 2007 wildfires? It's a $600 million question, and now you get to weigh in on the answer.
And tomorrow is opening day for the Padres at Petco Park. Will you be able to watch the sold-out game on television? We'll talk to the ultimate insider, a Padres Hall of Famer.
KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Farian.
And I'm Peggy Pico in for Dwayne Brown. A Camp Pendleton Marine has lost his bid to delay a hearing that could dismiss him from the Corps. A federal judge denied Sergeant Gary Stein's request to cancel or delay the hearing, which is scheduled for tomorrow morning. Stein is accused of violating military rules against political speech by criticizing President Obama on his Facebook page. He argues the military is violating his First Amendment rights. In his court filing today, Stein's lawyer said the military must still respect a service member's freedom of speech, and his statements are protected by the First Amendment. The suit says Stein's commanders are trying to railroad him out of the Marine Corps. His legal team includes attorneys from the ACLU and the conservative group Oath Keepers. After the hearing, Stein made a new Facebook post on his Armed Forces Tea Party page saying he's discouraged but not beat.
Governor Jerry Brown came to San Diego today to talk to a group of law enforcement leaders. KPBS reporter Jill Replogle was at his news conference, and she joins us now via Skype. So, Jill, what did the governor have to say?
Well, he was here for a conference of the California State Sheriff's Association, and first thing he said, he was here to make sure realignment is working on the ground. He gave a plug for his ballot initiative, which would secure funding for the prison realignment program and for schools. And he acknowledged that the state hasn't done a very good job in the past of dealing with rehabilitation of prisoners at the state level. And this is what he had to say about that.
Well, we've had to make a lot of cutbacks the last couple of years to important rehabilitation programs. Through realignment, I am confident that we're going to have more funds to put in to training, to education, and rehabilitation at the state level, as well as freeing up efforts at the local level. That's why the tax is important. That's why the guarantee, so that the sheriff of San Diego or Nevada County or Los Angeles knows the money's there and can plan for it.
And if you'll remember, when Governor Brown announced the realignment plan, he promised counties that they would have secure funding for this program. And so there was a question from one of the reporters here about whether making the funding contingent on a ballot initiative is akin to reneging on that promise. And he didn't quite answer the question, but he said that the point of the ballot initiative is to make sure that that money is constitutionally protected and that it can't be used for other needs.
KPBS reporter Jill Replogle.
The head of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission will visit the San Onofre nuclear power plant on Friday. The plant has been shut down since the end of January because of problems with tubing that carries radioactive water. The metal tubes show excessive wear, and if any of them break, there could be a radiation leak. The NRC has ordered the plant to stay closed until the tubing problem is fixed.
A new lawsuit has been filed in connection with the death at a Coronado mansion. 6-year-old Max Shacknai died last summer after a fall in the Spreckles mansion, which was owned by his father. Now his mother is suing for the autopsy photos and related documents. The boy was in the home with his father's girlfriend, Rebecca Sahau. She was found dead 2 days after Max's fall. Her death was ruled a suicide, but her family disputes that.
The city of San Diego is preparing to go to the bond market to get $75 million to fix city roads. Mayor Jerry Sanders says the money will also pay for other infrastructure projects. He says streets that are in the worst condition will get top priority. Part of Hotel Circle looked more like a river than a roadway today. An SDG&E crew says they accidentally broke a water main this morning, flooding the road and the lobby of one hotel. It took about 2 hours to turn the water off and several more hours to get the service back on. San Diegans pay among the highest utility rates in the country, and those rates could go even higher. A state agency is considering a request from San Diego Gas and Electric to charge customers another $300 per year. Joanne has the details at the Evening Edition Roundtable.
SDG&E customers will have a chance to speak their minds about a proposed rate increase tomorrow at a public hearing. At issue is whether the power company can pass on the uninsured cost of the 2007 wildfires to its customers rather than shareholders. 2 state agencies blame 3 of the largest wildfires on SDG&E power lines, fires that killed 2 people and destroyed 1,300 homes. Joining me is Diane Conklin. She lives in Ramona and is the spokesperson for the Mussey Grade Road Alliance. The alliance opposes SDG&E's application. Thanks for being here, Diane.
Thank you.
Why do you oppose the rate hike?
You know, we went through the Cedar fire, and we actually saved our house in that fire. We did everything we were supposed to do, and we saved it. But we saw everybody else's house around us go down, and we saw the blackened moonscape of our environment. So we became involved as interveners at the CPUC on the issue of wildland fires and power lines. And this is our 4th proceeding. And we oppose this because we think that we will be less safe if SDG&E is indemnified by the ratepayers picking up all their uninsured fire costs.
Less safe because there really isn't anything financial at stake for the power company if they know someone else will pick up the tab.
Right. I don't know if you ever read the story about the little prince who had the whipping boy, you know, and whenever the prince did something wrong, they'd whip the little boy. Well, that's what the ratepayers would be. SDG&E might do something wrong. As a matter of fact, it could even be negligence so far as this application is concerned. And then the ratepayers would be whipped with regard to what the costs would be in the future, as well as the 2007 fires.
I want to talk a little bit about the public hearing because there was some question as to whether or not the public would have a chance to weigh in. Now they are tomorrow. This is happening tomorrow. Do you think it's going to have an impact?
I think it can definitely have an impact. I mean, I believe in small d democracy, and I think that the people who come tomorrow can make an impact because they can tell the CPUC what they suffered in those 2007 fires, and that they do not want SDG&E to pit the fire victims against the SDG&E customer base. I mean, this just isn't right. The other thing is that the Commissioner Simon, who's the assigned commissioner for this particular proceeding, did put out a ruling saying this was about the 2007 fires included in this application. But I think that it's about the entire application because people are going to be asked to pay for fires in the future, and so they should talk about that too.
Well, I do want to let people at home know that we did invite SDG&E to be on this show, but they declined. However, in an email, a spokesperson made the following points: that SDG&E did increase its liability insurance from 2003 to 2007 from $450 million to $1.1 billion. Also, SDG&E has increased spending on maintenance, maintaining its line since 2003, and in fact, there has been no finding of fact that improper actions by SDG&E caused the 2007 fires. Now, this comes from Stephanie Donovan, spokesperson for SDG&E. Before I ask you to respond to that, Diane, I also want to toss to a clip from an interview that I did last month with Stephanie Donovan. In terms of who is responsible for 3 of these fires. And so take a look.
We certainly do not dispute CAL FIRE's investigation that found that our equipment was the ignition source of 3 of those fires back in 2007. But let's not forget the hot, dry, extremely strong Santa Ana winds. They were a significant factor in not only the ignition source, but also in the terrible spread of the fire that caused so much damage.
But we also know that a report of the Consumer Protection and Safety Division did find that along with Santa Ana wind conditions, it was SDG&E's conductors and it was their opinion that SDG&E was in violation of some of the rules.
Now, you said the right word. It was their opinion, and that was never finding of fact. To date, there has been no finding of fact that SDG&E's actions did anything wrong.
Doesn't she have a point? It was never a finding of fact.
No, I don't think she has a point. It wasn't a finding of fact because they settled. This is an unfortunate thing to have happened. We had a $2 billion fire. They settled for $14 million and never figured out whether SDG&E was in fault. So now the company can go around and say, hey, there was no finding of fact, and even if we really did cause the fires and we're negligent, you don't know because the court hasn't said so. Now, there are some court cases out there that want to come to fruition. We'll see if that happens. But the main point is that the Commission has some making up to do to this SDG&E customer base, us, the people on the ground who suffered through these fires, because a $14 million fine is actually pocket change for SDG&E. And the other issue about their fires, well, in terms of the insurance that they purchased, they're asking for $594 million now. That's what the figure is. And, you know, it's like, well, what was their insurance problem in 2006 and 2007? They hadn't had any major catastrophes at that point, so why couldn't they have insured more? Problem is they didn't buy enough insurance.
We're going to have to leave it there. Diane Conklin, I want to let people know that there is more information about the hearings on our website, kpbs.org.
Thank you so much, Joanne.
Thank you.
Escondido has a growing Latino population. Now some activists want more Latino representation on the city council there. We'll have that story from our Fronteras desk in just a moment. And you may want to pick up your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. It's just about time to play ball. Coming up, we'll talk with a Padres Hall of Famer about the upcoming season. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Tonight on KPBS, at 8 on Nature, learn how in some respects the brains of whales and dolphins are more complex than ours. Find out more on ocean giants, deep thinkers. Then at 9, fewer than 100 naturally occurring elements form the ingredients of everything in our world. Go under the microscope on NOVA, Hunting the Elements. And at 11, see the beauty and diversity of life on Earth on History of Science. How did we get here? That's tonight on KPBS.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next news hour, the path ahead in the Republican presidential campaign. That's Wednesday on the PBS NewsHour.
Today, I'm in Vermont dairy country to discover how our energy can come from the most unlikely of sources. Find out on the new PBS series, America Revealed.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
In the last decade, the Latino population in Escondido has exploded, but those changes have not been reflected at City Hall. From our Fronteras desk, Adrian Florido reports on a lawsuit several Latinos filed against the city, their hope to make it easier for Latinos to get elected to the city council.
This is Escondido's Mission Park neighborhood, the heart of this North County city's Latino community. Last year, data from the 2010 census confirmed what many in Escondido already suspected. Latinos have grown to be 49% of the city's population, making them its single largest ethnic group. But if you visit Escondido's gleaming city hall, you might not know it. In the city's 123-year history, only 2 Latinos have been elected to the city council, and only one actually acknowledged she was Latina.
One Latino elected in 123 years.
Demetrio Gomez is a Mexican-American, a construction worker, and a union organizer.
We are 49% of the town, and yet we're not being taken into consideration.
He lives on the outskirts of the city, and in December he joined several other Latinos to sue the city of Escondido. They hope to give Latinos a better shot at getting elected.
This is just one of the ways that we can get politically involved from the top down. A minority of the town is run in the city to their benefit.
Before understanding how the lawsuit could help Latinos, it helps to understand some of Escondido's recent history. This is City Councilwoman Marie Waldron talking about undocumented immigrants at a 2006 council meeting.
Our nation is under siege. Our own federal government has abandoned its constitutional duty, resulting in treason, and our local communities are directly paying the price. This is about illegal versus legal.
In the last decade, Escondido has cracked down on undocumented immigrants. Since 2004, the police department has put up sobriety and driver's license checkpoints and turned undocumented immigrants caught up in them over to immigration officials. In 2006, the city council temporarily passed a law that made it illegal for landlords to rent to undocumented immigrants.
And sadly, it is our very children who have to attend overcrowded schools and be threatened with exposure to the countless diseases that the late Dr. Madeline Cosman warned us about, including drug-resistant TB that costs over $2 million to treat per person. Who's going to pay that? Chagas disease, even leprosy.
Those policies and comments have left many Latinos, even citizens, feeling attacked by City Hall and outmatched by it. And that's where the recent lawsuit comes in. It asks a judge to toss out the current system for electing city council members. It's called an at-large system, and it requires all of the city's voters to choose from the same candidates. But if the lawsuit prevails, the city would be split into districts. Each one would have its own candidates, and voters could only vote in their district. Lori Schellenberger is an attorney at the American Civil Liberties Union. She's not involved in the Escondido case, but she has been watching it. She says that in at-large systems, it can be nearly impossible for minorities to elect candidates of their choice, because as voters, they're often outnumbered.
This is what we call racially polarized voting.
She says it happens all the time, but district elections change that.
When you map into districts, then you have a more concentrated group, and then they have a chance to have either an influence, a greater influence on an election if they don't meet the majority.
That was the idea behind the 2001 California Voting Rights Act. Like the Federal Voting Rights Act, it guarantees political representation to minority groups. But the California law is even more powerful. In fact, rather than endure expensive lawsuits from activists, many city councils and school boards have just agreed to switch to district elections. But here in Escondido, Mayor Sam Abbott has vowed to fight.
This will be the worst option for every citizen in Escondido, including the Hispanics.
He says district elections will pit neighborhoods against each other.
I think, personally, this is very polarizing, very divisive in a smaller community like this, and I think this is going to isolate the Latino community geographically, politically, economically, and socially.
Abed says Latinos have just as much opportunity to elect candidates as anyone else, but Demetrio Gomez disagrees. He thinks the current system stacks the odds against Latinos and discourages them from voting.
But that's only because there's been really no one to root for. How are we going to get these people involved if they have no hope?
The lawsuit is not expected to be resolved before this year's elections, but Gomez thinks that if it succeeds, Latinos could compete for at least 2 seats come next election.
That was Adrian Florido reporting. For more stories on issues Latinos are facing in this year's election, go to fronterasdesk.org. If you are ready for some baseball, you already know the season opener for the Padres is tomorrow. The game is sold out, and many fans who want to watch the game on TV will be out of luck because of a dispute with cable TV providers. Joanne has more with a Padres Hall of Famer.
Padres will play the LA Dodgers. Now, while fans may be excited, they are also confused. There are many questions today about who's in control of the team and whether all fans will be able to watch the game on television. Here to help us sort through this is Randy Jones. He, of course, is no stranger to San Diegans. Well, with the Padres, he pitched many opening days and is a Baseball Hall of Famer and a Cy Young Award winner. So great for you to be here. Thank you, Randy.
I appreciate it.
So the game is sold out. So if you're at home and you want to watch this game and you have Time Warner Cable, Dish, AT&T Universe, what do? You know,
that's going to be one of the dilemmas right now with the, with this not getting done, and now they're trying to play catch up, with Fox Sports San Diego. I think, many of us maybe seen the exhibition games they've done. They're doing a great job, but it's just going to take some time, I think, to weed through, get Time Warner on board, AT&T Universe. I know that we have DirecTV. That the Cox is going to be carrying them, obviously. But unfortunately, I mean, people with Time Warner, if you want to watch the ball game, you're going to have to find another area. I mean, like the Randy Jones All-America Sports Girl.
Of course, they can always go there.
You can always go there. We'll have it on. But I mean, they will get this done in sooner than later. I think they know the importance of the opportunity of everyone in San Diego, all the households being able to watch Fox Sports San Diego and watch Padre baseball. And it's the number one priority, I'm sure, with the front office, and they're trying to get this resolved.
You mentioned the front office. We also know a few questions there in terms of the CEO, Jeff Moritz, stepping down. Do you know what's going on?
No, I'm not sure that anyone right now knows. I know that John Moores is taking not a passive role, a more aggressive role, and he's going to be around and being involved. And I mean, the one thing he might be, 51% owner, and was kind of maybe phasing himself out to be bought out from the Padres. But now with the situation of what's going on, I'm sure John wants the best for the fans here in San Diego. So he's back involved, and his involvement is very, very positive, and we'll get it resolved. But when that announcement will come, I don't think anybody really knows yet. I just know that the big thing is we have baseball at 4:05 tomorrow for opening day, and the players are excited. I know that.
So give us a little bit of insight then. What's going on? Day before opening day, what's happening right now there?
Well, it's on your mind already. They have one exhibition game up in Lake Elsinore against probably our minor league team, and they're just getting ready for tomorrow. There's nothing like opening day. I don't know how you can describe the adrenaline, the excitement. And I don't care if it's your first one ever or if you've been doing it for 15, 20 years. I mean, the adrenaline, the excitement of opening day, it will never go away. I'll still get goosebumps, and it's been many years since I've done an opening day, but there's nothing more thrilling. And you have a sold-out crowd. You get out there on the field, and you're looking back up at 50,000 people enjoying watching you. And, boy, if you don't enjoy that, you might be in the wrong profession. But opening day has always been a special day. I got to start 4 openers in my career, and it was just always exciting. I mean, the adrenaline's flying, and it's what you do. It's what you dream of as a little boy.
Do you remember the first one that you started?
You bet. Yeah, I remember 75 was my first opening day, and I just remember I went 9 innings, and it was still 0-0, and I got a no decision, and it was right here at Jack Murphy Stadium. But I mean, I'll never forget it. You just don't forget those, and it's just one of those great things. It just starts the year, started out right. That's what everybody wants to do. So, going to be interesting. It's a good ball club, and I'm looking forward to seeing this club play.
Predictions for the season?
I think a lot of people have really downgraded 70, 75 wins. I don't buy that. I know it's at least a 500 ball club in my opinion. And I say I'm not saying that they're going to win the division, but they're going to win 81 games in my opinion. I've just seen what Phil Plantier and Alonzo Powell, the new hitting coaches, I think they've raised the bar, the expectations of the offense, and I'm excited about that. It's one thing that I think the Padres need. Almost we talk about we need more runs. We need to be a little more aggressive at the plate, and I think these guys are going to instill this in some of these young guys, and we're going to see a difference. Pitching and defense, we've always been very good. Petco Park, great place to pitch. There's no doubt about that. Everybody knows it in the league. But I think overall it's going to be all about the offense and staying healthy. And if they can improve, I always talk about if they could just get maybe 20 more clutch hits with a guy in scoring position, and that equates to 10 more wins. I think everybody can do the math. All of a sudden now instead of 75 wins, you have 85 wins. And that's kind of the way I look at it.
Where are you going to be tomorrow watching the game?
I'll probably be at one of the suites, maybe John Moore's suite, watching the game with my family.
Great.
The first day. That's a long trip. There's a lot of hours and a lot of miles before I'll get to that suite to get to watch the game with radio commitments and other suites that I want to go by and say hi to people on opening day. But it's always exhilarating and a lot of fun.
Well, it's so great to have you here. Thank you so much, Randy Jones.
Thank you, Joanne.
And we haven't forgotten football fans. The San Diego Chargers will play the Green Bay Packers in their first game of the preseason on August 9th. They've got one other home game in the preseason against the Dallas Cowboys. The date for that game has not been announced yet. The official Chargers season schedule is expected to be released later this month. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Some amazing mid-century modern homes in San Diego. On the next episode of San Diego's Historic Places.
Discover the secrets of our past. Watch San Diego's Historic Places, 9 p.m. Monday on KPBS.
Because of our members, it's possible for everyone around us to discover something new every day, right here on KPBS. And in doing so, our members make this a better and stronger community. Thanks for your support.
Tuesday at 10 on KPBS.
Welcome back to the Public Square on KPBS Evening Edition. Remember that Coney 2012 video that went viral just weeks ago? The half-hour video was produced by Invisible Children, a San Diego nonprofit. It targeted Joseph Kony, a Ugandan warlord. The video was viewed by tens of millions of people in just a matter of days. Well, tomorrow, Invisible Children plans to release a sequel. According to media reports, it promises more details on the Lord's Resistance Army. And a couple more broadcasts to tell you about. KPBS will rebroadcast a documentary on healthcare in America next Friday night. We've been reporting on the Affordable Health Care Act for several weeks now. The documentary Right to Health compares private health care in America with government-funded universal health care in Canada. And that will be followed by a special presentation on prisons and inmates as they age in prison. Now, both of those air next Friday, April 13th, and they begin at 9 p.m. If you have a question or a comment about tonight's show, please send me an email, jfarian@kpbs.org. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook. And now let's go back to the news desk where Peggy has a recap of tonight's top stories.
A Camp Pendleton Marine will face a dismissal hearing tomorrow morning. Sergeant Gary Stein lost his bid to delay the hearing. He's accused of violating military rules with Facebook posts criticizing President Obama. He says the military is violating his First Amendment right to free speech. Governor Jerry Brown came to San Diego today to speak to a convention of the State Sheriff's Association to talk about prison realignment and to pick up an endorsement for his proposed tax initiative. Brown says his tax plan would dedicate money to local governments to pay for the prison costs the state used to cover. The chairman of the Nuclear Regular Commission plans to visit the San Onofre nuclear plant on Friday. The plant has been shut down since late January because of problems with metal tubes carrying radioactive water. Senator Dianne Feinstein will also visit the plant. You can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thank you for joining us and have a great evening. We'll leave you with a look at the forecast.